Why are the 3DS and PSP making a comeback in 2025? I can't be the only one being bombarded with 3DS and PSP content these days. Here's 4 reasons the handhelds are back in people's hands. 1. These systems are tough to emulate unless you're sitting on a desktop computer. Their games were made to be played on these tactile handheld devices. 2. Modding has made it so people are basically jailbreaking the systems, allowing for unlimited customization and game downloads from online.
Right, I have a lot to say about this topic. If you emulate and you mod a 3DS or whatever just to illegally download ROMs onto that system and that's how you play your games, I'm sorry, we are not going to be friends. The only reason I emulate, and you're probably going to argue with me with this, the only reason I emulate is when I can't physically record the quality or the best quality possible on my Game Boy Advance, my Game Boy Color, and my DS, among other things as well. But that's the main reason why I emulate, because I don't have the technology to screen cap thing and do all this editing and stuff. I also don't have a lot of time as well. Here's a little bit of a side rant. Not only do people emulate, like, just as a way to play games, but now people on TikTok and YouTube and stuff have decided to just stream Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Sapphire, and all these other older Pokemon games, and they're doing it for views and money and stuff, and for a lot of attention. Okay, so I just want to interject here. I couldn't find the guy I was talking about, but there are thousands on TikTok that do the exact same thing that this guy does. Not shiny hunt, like legendary shiny hunt, but there are thousands that do what I'm talking about in this video. Just wanted to put that in there, just in case, just to cover my ass, basically, because I couldn't find him. You physically cannot call yourself a Nintendo collector or a Nintendo creator and like stream modded Pokemon games and stuff, and that's what you do to gain a fan base. I'm sorry, we just cannot be friends, man, because what you're doing is you are illegally downloading this. There isn't a law that says you can't do this. If I was to go on a train, right, play Pokemon Emerald on my phone just with mobile controls, which I don't like to do, it just defeats the purpose, right? Anyway, if I was to do that and I was to go on a 3-hour train ride and I played Pokemon Emerald on my phone for the entire trip, I just do not see the point. I won't do that because, one, I hate mobile controls and that sort of thing. It's not fun. I have little to no freaking control of my character. Yes, there's touch controls and stuff. Yeah, but I just don't have fun. I prefer the original hardware and stuff, and actually play it on the original systems that it was intended to play on. What I'm thinking of doing, right, and you can disagree with me if you want, okay, this is my YouTube channel, say what you want, I think of flying fuck, but what I want to do is, because I don't want to emulate anymore, I want to buy a custom Hillboy Double 5 Games Game Boy Advance, because it was the system that I never got as a kid. I got the DS Lite as a kid, and I totally missed out on the Game Boy Advance. When I first experienced playing Pokemon, I experienced it on I think it was a Game Boy Advance SP. That's what I want to do. I want to get it modded so, and to get a DPI screen and stuff, because yeah, the screen's fine on an original Game Boy Advance. I played one, believe it or not. It's fine, but I would prefer to play it on a modded Game Boy Advance. I already have one. I'll show you. Right, so this is my Pokemon modded IPS display GBA. It's Pokemon themed because I was a lot into Pokemon at the time. It works fine. The only thing that that doesn't work with this thing is this stupid battery compartment. And I think I think it's the little switch here. That's what I don't like about it. The switch is stuffed, and it's hardly ever I will use this. I've used it before. It's fine. It works great. But I don't prefer. I don't want to play this for like an hour and having to adjust this little freaking power slider here. I just don't want to have to do that because it's annoying, and I don't want to have to do it. Like, that's the only reason why I would consider paying like $600 for a modded GBA, because it's the way I prefer to play. And I'm not alone with this. There are a lot of other creators that actually prefer to do this. Here is my argument, alright? Here is my argument. Although this is using a modded like, you know, Game Boy Advance and a modded screen, and it's not the original way of playing, right? I'm not going to use it for illegal purposes. I'm not going to get an R4 like cartridge that has a little micro SD card in it, and that I can actually install like games off the internet of it. I'm not going to do that because that is illegal. What I'm doing here is not illegal because I'm paying for it. It's using all the original freaking hardware. It's all original. It's going to be all original Game Boy Advanced hardware in it. The only thing that's going to be different is it'll have an IPS display. This one has an IPS display. It's just the battery is fucked, and it's made in China. That's the only reason why I'm going to consider getting a modded Game Boy Advance, because, you know, yeah, that's the only reason. Right, another reason why I'm going to consider getting a modded 3DS, which is I'm considering it. I'm not sure about it yet because I'm not a fan of people who do that, but I'm going to consider getting a modded 3DS or whatever, is purely because a modded 3DS will have a software that will record your Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS, like capabilities, and you can record that on your PC. That's the only reason why I will even consider getting a modded 3DS, which is what the video there was talking about, is why people are using it. But what this guy was talking about is there was a certain group of people that only emulate, that only uses a 3DS for its emulation capabilities. That's the only reason why they do it. That's why, exactly. I want to hear your thoughts about this topic. This video rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like people who emulate. I do sometimes when it's necessary. When there is absolutely, like, there's no way of recording a Game Boy Advance or a Nintendo 3DS or a Nintendo DS or a Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance, etc., etc. You know, that's the only reason why I do it, because there is no physical way you can record something with the highest sort of like capable, like visually pleasing sort of like way you can record stuff like that. I could do it. I could pop my phone up it and sort of, you know, up it. I could pop my phone like onto the screen and record, and that, but it's just not going to be the best quality. I could be like doing that for, you know, a few years, and it would still not look the best as like emulators and stuff like that. That's my argument. Thank you so much for listening. If you have your own opinion on this sort of like topic, then let me know down in the comments. Do a video response, whatever you want to do. Thanks for listening to me ramble about bullcrap, and yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, subscribe. See ya.